Sometimes the weight you carry doesn't come from one single moment. It comes from everything you've been holding. The repeated thoughts, the silent worries, the unspoken expectations. You keep moving forward, but your heart feels heavy. You keep going, but your mind feels tired. And even when you pray, something still weighs on you. God never asked you to carry everything without rest. He never asked you to solve everything alone. He never asked you to hold this weight day after day. Today, God is inviting you to pause, not to analyze, not to understand, not to anticipate, but simply to let go, to release what feels heavy, to release what feels exhausting, to release what keeps returning to your thoughts. You don't have to explain anything. You don't have to justify anything. You can come just as you are, even if you feel empty, even if you feel fragile, even if you feel lost. God welcomes what you can no longer carry. Take a slow breath. This moment is a place of rest. Sometimes, you can't even name what feels heavy anymore. You only know that your heart feels weighed down, that your mind never truly rests, that even in silence, thoughts keep coming. God knows the weight you can't put into words. He sees what you carry without being able to explain. He hears what remains trapped inside you. You don't need to find the perfect words. You don't need to explain every detail. God understands before you even speak. Letting go is not giving up. Letting go is not surrendering your faith. Letting go is recognizing that you were never meant to carry everything alone. God does not judge you when you are tired. He does not blame you for feeling worn down. He welcomes you as you are, even when your faith feels weak, even when your strength feels gone. Releasing this weight is a step toward peace. Not perfect peace, not final peace, but enough peace to keep moving forward. Breathe slowly. You can release what you've been holding too tightly. There are things you've been carrying for a long time. Old thoughts, recurring worries, wounds never truly released. Over time, they become familiar. You get used to them. You keep moving forward, thinking it's normal to live with this weight. But this is not what God desires for you. God did not create you to survive under constant pressure. He created you to move forward in peace, even if the path is not easy, even if everything is not resolved. Peace does not wait for perfection. It begins when you choose to release. Today, God is inviting you to make that choice. Not through effort, not through inner struggle, but through a simple, sincere inner gesture. You can entrust Him with what keeps returning, what weighs on you as you fall asleep, what follows you when you wake up. God can carry what you can no longer contain. He is not surprised by how long your struggle has lasted. He is not irritated by your slow pace. He walks with you at the speed you can manage, and that speed is enough. Letting go of this weight does not mean everything will change instantly. It simply means you choose not to carry it alone anymore. God does not always remove situations right away, but He transforms the way you walk through them. When you entrust Him with what weighs on you, He does not promise a sudden disappearance. He promises His presence, and His presence changes everything. It brings a quiet calm, an inner stillness, a renewed breath. You can continue without being crushed. You can move forward without feeling overwhelmed. God walks with you in the middle of what you are facing. He does not wait for you at the end of the road. He is with you at every step, even when you doubt, even when you hesitate, even when you move slowly. God is never in a rush. He respects your pace. He honors your fragility. He does not ask you to move faster than your heart can handle. Releasing this weight is accepting to be accompanied. And that companionship is faithful, quiet, constant. There is a difference between carrying something and entrusting it. Carrying means holding tightly. Entrusting means opening your hand. When you carry alone, tension builds up. When you entrust it to God, space opens. You don't need to know how God will act. You don't need to imagine the solution. God is not asking you to understand the outcome. He is simply asking you to trust Him through the process. This trust is not dramatic. It is quiet. It shows itself in small inner shifts, like breathing more deeply, like relaxing your shoulders, like realizing that everything no longer rests only on you. God often works in this release, when you stop forcing, when you accept that you cannot control everything. Peace does not come when everything is resolved. It comes when you stop fighting alone. God works in this open space, where you allow Him room to act. Sometimes, you feel like if you let go, everything will fall apart, as if your control is the only thing keeping balance. But this weight was never meant to rest on your shoulders. God is not waiting for you to hold everything together. He is waiting for you to trust Him. Letting go is not weakness. It is an act of faith. It is recognizing that God sees further than you do, that God understands what you are going through better than you do yourself. When you release, God supports. When you pause, God continues to work. You don't need to stay on constant alert. You don't need to anticipate every outcome. God is already present in what you fear. He is not overwhelmed. He is not anxious. He is not surprised. He holds what you cannot hold. And while you breathe, He works. While you rest, He acts. You can allow yourself this release. It is safe. It is protected. God is here. Moving forward in peace does not mean everything becomes easy. It means your heart is no longer at war. You may still have questions. You may still feel uncertainty. But something changes within you. The tension softens. The urgency fades. The pressure eases. God does not always remove challenges immediately, but He removes unnecessary weight. The kind that drains you, the kind that steals your breath, the kind that makes you believe everything depends on you. When you walk with God, you do not walk alone. Even in the unknown, even while waiting, even in unclear seasons, God lights the next step, not the entire path, and that is enough. You don't need to see far ahead. You only need to move gently, one step at a time. Peace is built this way, through daily trust, through gradual surrender, through God's faithful presence. You can keep going without rushing. God is walking with you. There are moments when you realize you no longer want to fight, not because you are giving up, but because you understand that peace is more important than being right, more important than controlling everything, more important than carrying everything. God invites you to choose this peace, not as an escape, but as wisdom. Choosing peace means accepting that some answers will come later. It means accepting that not everything moves at the same pace. It means choosing to trust without seeing everything. God honors this choice. He honors tired hearts that choose to rest. He honors sincere souls that stop fighting alone. The peace God gives is not fragile. It does not depend on circumstances. It settles gently. It takes root deeply. And even when questions return, peace remains, because it does not come from answers. It comes from God's presence. Over time, you begin to sense something shifting, not around you, but within you. Thoughts become less overwhelming. Worries lose some of their grip. What once felt unbearable becomes lighter to carry, not because everything is resolved, but because you are no longer alone with it. God does not erase your story. He does not deny what you feel. He meets you where you are, and His presence brings calm. It makes no noise. It does not force itself. It gently surrounds you. You may still have moments of doubt, moments of worry, but they no longer control you in the same way. Peace does not remove every question. It changes their place. They are no longer at the center. God becomes the center. And when God takes that place, everything else begins to realign. You move forward differently, more gently, more freely, more trusting. You don't need to rush. You don't need to force anything. You don't need to prove anything. What you have released remains in God's hands, even when you stop thinking about it, even when doubt returns, even when fatigue shows up again. God does not take back what you entrust to Him. He watches. He walks with you. He supports you. You can continue your journey in peace. Not perfect peace, but sufficient peace. A peace that allows you to breathe, to stand again, to move forward without being crushed. This moment was not an empty pause. It was a space for your heart, a space to release, a space to trust. You can carry this peace with you. It is not fragile. It does not disappear at the first obstacle. It takes root in God's faithful presence. Stay with this breath. Stay in this gentleness. God is with you, and you can move forward. If this prayer brought you peace, you're welcome to subscribe.